this video we are going to understand the defenses of negligence. Defenses against the negligence are legal argument that a defendant can use to avoid liability in a negligence lawsuit. Negligence occurs when someone fails to exercise reasonable care, resulting in harm to another person. Defenses can mitigate or eliminate liability if successfully proven. Here are the primary defenses to negligence. The first one is contributory negligence. This defense argued that the plaintiff was also negligent and contributed to their own injury in jurisdiction following this doctrine. If the plaintiff is found to be even slightly negligent, they may be barred from recovering any damages. The case we are going to look in Butterfield versus Forrester, 1809. In this case, the plaintiff was riding his horse recklessly and was injured when they struck a pole that the defendant had left on the road. The court held that the plaintiff could not recover damages because he had not exercised reasonable care for his own safety. Moving forward, consent. If the plaintiff consented to the conduct that led to their injury, they might be barred from recovery. This is a common in the sports and other activities where the participants are aware of and accept the inherent risk. The case: the plaintiff, a professional football player, was injured during a game by an intentional blow. The court held that the player's consent to participate in a violent sport did not extend to intentional injuries outside the rules of the game. It's very important. Moving forward to another case, Morris versus Murray, 1991. The plaintiff and the defendant had been drinking heavily and the defendant decided to fly his light aircraft. The plaintiff willingly joined the defendant on the flight and the plane crashed, resulting in serious injuries to the plaintiff. The court ruled that the plaintiff was fully aware of the extreme risk involved in flying with an intoxicated pilot and voluntarily accepted the risk. Therefore, the defense of voluntary non-fatal injury was acceptable and the defendant was not liable for the plaintiff's injury. Hamilton versus Whiteworth and Nolan, 1997. The plaintiff was a rugby player who was injured during a match due to unsafe scrum that collapsed. The plaintiff claimed that the referee had failed to enforce the rules properly, leading to the injury. The court acknowledged that while rugby players consent to the ordinary risks associated with the game, they do not consent to injuries caused by the failure to enforce the rules. The defense of voluntary non-fatal injury did not apply in this case because the injury was due to referee's negligence in managing and the game safety. Illegality. If the plaintiff was engaged in illegal activity at the time of injury, they might be barred from recovering damages. Pitt versus Hunt, 1990. The plaintiff was injured while riding a passenger on a motorcycle driven by the friend who was drunk and uninsured. The court held that both parties were engaged in a joint illegal enterprise and thus the plaintiff could not recover damages. Moving forward, statute of limitations. Negligence claims must be filed within the certain period after the injury occurs. If the plaintiff files a lawsuit after the statute of limitation has expired, the defendant can use this as a defense. A plaintiff filed a medical malpractice claim beyond the statutory period. The court upheld the statute of limitation defense for the plaintiff's claims. Act of God is also a defense. An act of God defense argued that an unforeseeable natural event caused the injury and the defense had no control over it. As we can see in this case, the defendant had artificial lakes on their property. After an unprecedented and heavy rainfall, the lakes overflowed, causing an embankment to break. The water from the lake subsequently flooded the plaintiff's land, causing the significant damage. The court held that the defendant was not liable for the damage because the heavy rainfall was an extraordinary event that could not have been foreseen or prevented. The flood was deemed an act of God and defendant had no control over it. These defenses provide the various ways for defendant to challenge